Jason, back with another movie review, and I am continuing the Wayne's World series, and this time Wayne's World 2. And the DVD itself is just like the last one, pretty much the exact same, very basic, a disc, and this very important notice, like I said last time. So, but yeah, on the back of this, you have a commentary by director Steven Surjic, and that's the first change from here is the previous director did not direct this one. So, and also Wayne's World 2 Extreme Close-Up exclusive cast and crew interviews. So it's not bad, but that's it. There's not even a theatrical trailer on this either. So, but again, it's nice to have in my collection, so I'm glad to have it. All right, I got this piece of paper here. I got a little bit of information that I want to read off. The box office of this. Obviously, the first one did outstanding. In fact, it grossed over $100 million in the U.S. So there was big shoes to fill for this director, honestly. And I guess we have to admit that there's no way that it could live up to the first one, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll see what I think. But compared to the 100 million gross dollars, this one did 48 million, so about half of what the other one did. Their budget was 40 million, so they basically made $8 million. But again, it was intended for like a Christmas release, which is, I find that a little odd. But it was competing against movies such as Mrs. Doubtfire, Schindler's List, and so on. Those are the movies that came out at the same time around Christmas time. So, Rotten Tomatoes gave this film a 60% on this one compared to the other one, which still isn't that bad. Okay, let's go over the cast members, and just like the first one, there's plenty of cameos. In fact, there's probably more cameos in this one than the last one. So we have, of course, Mike Myers, who is back as Wayne Campbell. Dana Carvey comes back as Garth Algar. And these guys, again, are hilarious, and they are what makes these two films enjoyable, pretty much. I mean, the other cast members are awesome too, don't get me wrong, but without Wayne and Garth, there is no movie, obviously. All right, so Tia Carrere is back as Cassandra Wong, and she did good on this one. I liked her in the first one better, I think. I don't know why. I just think it was just them two meeting for the first time. It just made their a little bit more compatible than this one. But overall, she did great as an actress. She did great. And of course, we need a replacement for who was the last person? The last enemy, so to speak. This time, Christopher Walken plays Robert, or he's called Bobby here, Bobby Kahn. And he is like the record producer for Sharp Records. And I'll go over a couple. James Hong, he plays Jeff Wong, which is Cassandra's father. And that scene is absolutely hilarious. If you guys have seen this, you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see who else. Chris Farley plays another small character here. Ed O'Neill comes back as Glenn, and again, that's just a very small part. And then I'll go down here. Jay Leno plays a small part. Ted McGinley plays this guy, Mr. Scream. He's on the radio station, and which is a funny scene also. There's a guy named Handsome Dan who's played by Harry Shearer, and some of you guys may know him on The Simpsons. And there's that one scene where they're going to meet Handsome Dan and talk about this stuff, and they think that Ted McGinley is Handsome Dan, when in reality it's Harry Shearer, which was absolutely hilarious. And then last, there's a couple more, but Aerosmith also comes here and they sing a song or two here. All right, let's get right into the plot. Basically, this has been about a year later. This is 1993. They've moved out of their parents' house, and they bought an abandoned factory there in Aurora, Illinois, and that's where they live. That's where their show is. So they've grown up a little bit, haven't they? I thought that was pretty cool. Again, it doesn't have the same humor factor, that you got in the first one where they live with their parents. I thought that was hilarious. But obviously they got to move on. I thought that was pretty cool. They go to the Aerosmith concert, and that's where they meet Cassandra again. That's where you also meet Bobby for the first time, and this guy is just like the Rob Lowe character. Definitely a smooth talker, trying to, I guess, win over Cassandra and also tell her that, you need to stop hanging out with these losers, which is pretty much the replacement for Rob Lowe. I find these characters pretty much exactly the same. This guy is a little bit more of a smooth talker, and they try to. There's a scene here where they use the same line on him that they did with some other people, and it never did work on Bobby, which is a funny scene as well. It was absolutely hilarious. They also this is the same time where Wayne has a dream, and it's kind of weird. It's, you see a fake Jim Morrison, a naked Indian. I know it sounds funny, but this Jim Morrison tells him that Wayne, his destiny is to put up a concert in Aurora, Illinois, because I think that's what Wayne is kind of asking is, what is my destiny? What do I need to do with the rest of my life? At this point, he's got a girlfriend who he loves. He's got his show. He's got his best friend still. So what else do I need to do in my life? And there you go. He comes up with a concert word, which they call Wayne Stock. And I thought that was pretty clever, the way they did that. And they said, this is what the Jim Morrison guy, he said that, if you book them, they will come. And they have to go all the way to England to meet a guy named Del Preston. And here's another thing that was absolutely hilarious. And they're being very sarcastic in this part. It shows two different characters supposed to be Wayne and Garth from the back, and they're saying, "Boy, aren't you glad?" It was something like this, and it's not exactly, but aren't we glad that they sent us all the way to England to film this? And it's obviously not them, but it just shows them from the back where these two characters are dressed like them, have a wig. But it's absolutely hilarious the way they do this. It was one of the funniest scenes in this movie. At the same time, they are putting together some bands. Cassandra wants to put Crucial Taunt on there as well, and of course Bobby's like, no, we got other things for you to do, and she does. And this one, it's a big band. I mean, they go on to Jay Leno. That's where Jay Leno comes into play, and on here as well, you also meet Garth. He meets a beautiful woman that they are together. It's really funny, but you also find Garth, and he sees her ex-husband who's crazy. So of course Garth ends that relationship, and by the end of this, you see a girl who looks just like Garth, and man, it's funny when they're standing together pretty much at the end of the movie. It's absolutely hilarious because they're dressed exactly the same. They have the same mannerisms, and those guys did a good job by putting those characters in like that. I thought that was great. Then throughout the entire movie, he has a couple of additional dreams where, of course, the bands have not showed up. And that's pretty much it. I mean, they they have two different endings. They tried to copy the first movie, so they had two different endings. The first one is a Thelma and Louise ending, and that's pretty much what it is. Has nothing to do with it, just like the Scooby-Doo ending on the first one. And then you have the successful ending where all the bands show up, including Aerosmith, and they're playing this concert. That's pretty much it. The one of the funny parts here that is so noticeable. Again, like they're talking to the through the fourth wall. There's a scene where a guy's at a gas station, and he sucks as an actor. And Wayne's like, "Oh, come on, guys, we can do better than this." Serious. And they actually replaced the actor in the movie. It was absolutely hilarious. When I first saw it, this one made me crack up, and I still crack up over this. Let's see. And another funny thing is of course, there's scenes in here where Wayne has to get back Cassandra because she's about to marry Bobby, which, pretty much sucked, especially in his eyes. And that's what he's going after. And while he's doing this, Garth has to hold down the crowd over at Waynestock, and they're getting rambunctious and all that. It's pretty funny. The stuff that he does that actually to try to stall was actually hilarious. Another one thing that was pretty funny and memorable is the way that they're dressed up like the village people. You got Native American, you got the cop, construction worker, all this, and they're actually spying on Bobby and Cassandra, and then they end up going into a gay club, and then the gay club starts playing YMCA. It was absolutely hilarious, and it's one of those unforgettable moments in this movie. And that's pretty much it. I mean, compared to the other movie, this one had its moments. It definitely had its moments, but it's definitely not as memorable as the first one. The first one I gave it a 9 out of 10. This one I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Is it watchable? Yes, it's definitely watchable. Do we need to watch it? No, we don't need to watch this one. Definitely watch the first one. And again, the second one here, this one is watchable, but I find that I don't have to watch this one. If I'm watching the first one, I don't need to go right into the second one. Some of the magic was missing there, and I guess it's hard to explain, but I think most people that watch and enjoy the first one think and feel the same way. So, all right, everybody. Well, I appreciate you coming here, and please take a moment, and if you haven't subscribed right over here, go ahead and click that, and then you can subscribe from pushing this button right here. Also, I'm going to put in a couple links to some other videos right here. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.